The first three things that I thought of when I saw this brand was it's hokey, it's a fad, and they're going to kill people. This brand, as we'll get into it, is one of the most powerful brands I've ever seen.
Welcome back to Kim Daly TV. Today, it's my very sincere pleasure to introduce my followers to one of my all-time favorite people in franchising, Robert, aka Bobby McQuillan. Bob, welcome to the studio of Kim Daly TV.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you so much for the warm introduction. And you are one of my favorite people in all of franchising as well. So the love is reciprocated. Thank you so much.
All the years we've been together, can you believe that we're doing this today?
For the first time. I know. It's a long time coming, right?
Sharing what we know on YouTube.
I love it. I love it. And I've had a blast watching you as you've kind of continued to grow your program, which I've always been, as you know, I'm a big fan, and I'm really excited about today. So let's get into it, Kim.
Yeah, so most of the time, guys out there, most of the time it's the reverse. So Bob will come to conferences, where I'm the consultant, and he'll be pitching whatever brand he's with, and he's going to tell his background a little bit. And he loves to do like song and dance skits. And I should have had you prepare something for today, Bob.
Right.
He is the king of the song and dance.
I would have written something.
All right. Well, before we get into this discussion about Body20, the newest franchise that you are probably the most excited I've ever seen you be about a brand, why don't you tell my listeners a little bit about your experience in franchise development? I mean, you have a very, very big background in franchising.
Yeah, my experience, it's been now 23 years, hard to believe. I've got my youngest child is 20, going to be 21 next week. So time flies when you're having fun.
And is this the one that goes to Notre Dame?
Yes, yes. She's a Fighting Irish, and she's a junior now. So good Lord, only one more year left after this one. Dating back a couple years before Brenna was born, I started out in the industry with a company called Hollywood Tans, which was an indoor tanning salon franchise, which my dad thought was a ridiculous investment because I'm Irish and I really can't get a tan anyway. But we had a great run, was there for 7 years. The one thing about me, as you know, Kim, whatever brand I'm with, and I've only been with really 3 of them, but whatever brand I'm with, I invest in the brand at the street level, which I call it street level or retail level. So I am in as an investor, not only in the franchise itself as a partner, but more so, or as well, an investor at the street level or franchisee level. And I'm doing the same here. But with Hollywood Tans, with Hand and Stone, my wife and I owned 3 of those, did extremely well. And now with Body20 now, I've been with Body20 a little over a year and a half. I'm a partner in the franchise. And then my partner and I, at the franchisee level, are starting with 6 units and in negotiations on 4 sites right now, which is really exciting because this brand, as we'll get into it, is one of the most powerful brands I've ever seen.
So why is it important for you to be in sort of like your hand in the clay on the franchisor side and your hand in the clay in the franchisee side?
Yeah, great question. And when I was in the prospective franchisee seat, when I was decided to leave corporate America, I would talk with these franchise salespeople, and they would say, Mr. McQuillan, this is the best brand on the planet. They're telling me how great it is, and you should really invest now because they're not going to be around if you wait too long. And I kept thinking, if it's that great of a brand, why don't you invest in it? And I thought, if I ever was on that side of the fence and became a franchise salesperson or representative, I would want to basically invest in the brand that I'm talking about. I think it just makes total sense. If you can do it, you should do it. And that's what I've done every step of the way.
I love it. It's integrity, guys. It's integrity. Okay, so let's talk about what the heck is Body20?
As a traditional athlete and person that loves fitness and worked out all my life, as you are, Kim, I looked at this, and I just have to say, for everybody looking at Body20 for the first time, give it a chance, because the first three things that I thought of when I saw this brand was it's hokey, it's a fad, and they're going to kill people. Those were
Three strikes, you're out.
right. I'm thinking
And now he's opening four at the same time.
There's no way I could be a part of this. I played football, I boxed, I did triathlons, open water swims, long distance races. I'm like, there is no chance I'm getting into something like this so hokey. Anyway, I do my research and I'm like finding out that this has been around for 30 to 40 years all over Europe, South Africa, different countries around the world. It just wasn't cleared by the FDA here in the United States to be approved for fitness. We all know electro muscular stimulation as something that we do for physical therapy or to reactivate a quad muscle after knee surgery or different types of rehab, right? So that's something that most people know. What you don't know is for years, the greatest sprinter in the world, for example, Usain Bolt, has trained with EMS for a long time. Real Madrid soccer team has trained with EMS for a long time. The Russian wrestling team, years ago, they thought they were doing steroids or some type of drug. No, they were training with EMS technology. So it's been around for a long time there. So when it came here in 2017, I started to evaluate the brand based on someone you work with who asked me to help out and just say, he said, take a look. He said, take a look at the brand. Let me know what you think. So after my research, understanding the unit performance at the street level, and then understanding the brand itself, what they went through, they basically revamped the entire brand, and they did something I've never seen done before. They stopped selling franchises for over a year, and that I've never seen. I think Jeff Elgin somewhere right now is spinning in a seat when he hears that. But they did the right thing, because to revamp a brand like theirs, which was a kind of a no-frills brand, to this higher end, beautifully aesthetic and affluent areas, they needed to do it. And they hired the right teams to do it, architectural firms and branding companies, to make them look and feel like they deserve to be in these affluent areas. And they did such a fantastic job. I was sold on not only the brand, the aesthetics, and when I did the workout, I was completely sold. And then after that, if you look at the unit performance, wow, this is a knock your socks off type of concept.
All right, so let's go back a little bit because you just said a lot of really good things. So, for those out there who might not have caught what he said, Body20 is EMS. It's say it again,
Electromuscular stimulation.
Stimulation. So, like when Kim Daly broke her leg and my quadricep wasn't firing well, I went to physical therapy and they put these little quads on my leg and they helped my brain to remember how to stimulate my quadricep muscle. And today I'm 100%. So I totally get the value. But like Bob said, it's never been used in like a main gym setting here in the United States. So now you're packaging this EMS workout into a boutique fitness space. So what does that mean? So as a client of Body20, how often do I come? How long is the workout? Like when you said you did the workout and you were totally sold, like why?
Yeah. So now the workout is one-on-one, right? So you're basically with a trainer. We call them coaches, but you're with a trainer during this 20-minute workout. We fit you into a suit. The suit, we own the suit, or each franchisee owns the suit. So there are 12 to 15 suits in each location. Basically, there's quadrants, 4 quadrants. We work out 4 people at one time with 4 different trainers. Okay. So when you get into this suit, the whole idea behind this is we lead with strength training, but there's a cardio element too that's really impactful and sensational. But the strength training alone, to give you an idea, in a 20-minute frame or time frame, you're going to work out in our suit. You're going to burn between 700 and 1,000 calories. When you work out, let's say you're in your strength training, you and Danny are going at it, right? And he's training you and you're lifting weights, right? And you're doing, let's say 90 minutes to 2 hours. On average, a normal human being will contract their muscles approximately 1,500 times in that 20-minute time frame that you're training. Our suit and our machine will contract your muscles 36,000 times in that same time frame, which is hard to believe. And here's the other part of this. And this is probably the most simple way I can put this so people understand it. Everybody has heard, I'm sure you have, Kim, I'm sure you've heard people say we use about 10% of our brain's capacity. Have you heard that before?
Right.
Most people have never heard that we only use 20 to 30% of our physical capacity. So what that means is if you were to go work out in your 90-minute or 2-hour workout, you're going to recruit 20 to 30% of your muscle fibers. Because when we lift
After
weight,
all that work.
right, exactly. An NFL running back, a highly conditioned athlete, will recruit 50 to 60% of their muscle fibers. Get this. In a Body 20 workout, you will recruit 90 to 100% of your muscle fibers in that 20-minute workout. Same thing for the NFL athlete or an endurance athlete. They'll recruit whatever your body is made up of, you'll get 90 to 100% recruitment of your muscle fibers from this workout.
So that's going to mean that you're going to see a response, a muscular response faster. You're going to get in shape faster. You might look like more toned in a shorter amount of time.
It is. It's you basically hit the nail on the head. So this workout, it's if you want to be a bodybuilder and you want to build bulk, I mean, like me, if I get 2 tickets to the gun show here, I'm not trying to build bulk. I want leaner, a more elongated muscle, right? That's my goal. I'm 57. I don't want load bearing on my joints. Tendons and ligaments tend to wear out. I want a healthy exercise that burns calories and trades my bad weight, fat, for my good weight, which is muscle. And this is what this is designed to do.
Okay, so you just said something important. So there's no load bearing on the joint. Again, so I love to squat, but like my knees and my back don't really like me squatting, right? Not at my age.
Sure.
I'm not as old as you, Bobby, but I'm up there.
Thanks for pointing that out.
We are trying to build some muscle. So, okay, so what you're saying is that I can get the effect of a squat, even probably more powerful of a stimulation without the wear and tear to my knees and my back?
You're spot on, and I giggle because my partner always uses this comparison. He said you could literally sit on a hard surface with our suit on, lean forward so those pads are pressing against your muscles and your glutes, and basically do a glute workout that would rival any squat workout you would do in an hour and a half, and you could do it for a period of a short amount of time, like 5 minutes. And no one believes it, Kim, and you're laughing, but when I get you in this suit, and for your audience, she has not accepted my challenge yet, but she said she would after the interview if she was happy with it. So
I'm afraid, people. I'm afraid.
Okay. Kim Daly, you need to accept my challenge.
I'm afraid. So going back to the comment you made in the beginning, they might kill people.
Yeah.
So I've had other people tell me, I mean, I was more sore than I've ever been. So is sore really the goal?
It is completely safe. There are 7 contraindications to the workout. Of course, if you have a pacemaker, if you're pregnant, I mean, we go through every contraindication with each client. So it is completely safe. The goal is not to be sore after every workout. The goal is to work your muscles to a point where they can get to close to exhaustion, which that's what you want. You can only do the strength workout twice a week. That's all we will allow. You need your muscles time to rebuild, your muscle fibers time to rebuild after you break them down after a workout. But it's so intense in that 20 minutes that you don't want to do this more than that. So what people do is they use this as a complement to their other training methods and their other workouts.
Very interesting, Bob. Okay, so we're going to get into the business side of it, but let's just finish up here on the actual, because it's so new and different. It's not like, oh, we're talking about yoga, right? People got to visualize this. So who's the typical person that walks into a Body 20? You mentioned something about luxurious space, higher end neighborhoods. So let's talk about the kind of client demographic and the actual person who goes.
Sure. The Kim Dalys of the world are basically our clients. So
okay, wait. Let me stop and qualify, and let's go back to the comment about Danny. So Dan, for those listeners out there, is my personal trainer for 10 years, who Bobby is very well acquainted with, at least by name.
Right. We haven't met yet, but I know he's a special person in your world. So
yeah. Okay. So you followers of me know I'm a fitness girl. I love fitness. I'm a nutritional biochemist by degree. Sports nutrition is my love. So this is right up my alley. But that's why this conversation is so intriguing. And at the same time challenging, because Bob has been like, come on, Kim, you gotta do the workout. You gotta do the workout. And I have put up a fair amount of resistance. I will admit it, but this is definitely intriguing me. So, okay, let's go back to the original question of the person who you say me, but like, let's describe who it really is.
Sure. So there's kind of a few different buckets or silos that I can turn to as far as who our target market or audience is. One of them, certainly females. 70% of our membership base is female oriented. So that's important to us. Our average member is 45 years of age. Actually, that's coming down now, which is really exciting. So it's a little bit less than 45 now. But that's an exciting thing for us because the younger people, I think, if they start growing up with this at a younger age, this is going to be important for certainly, the health of our units and the health of our system, which is great. If you look at our different clients, one, as I mentioned, females, and I talk to the women that are in our studios whenever I'm in a studio. And the top two answers are, because I would say to you, I would say, Kim, why do you go to Body20? And 90% of the time they say, because I hate going to the gym. And a typical big box gym, right? So that is the answer I get the most. The other one is, it saves me so much time. Yeah. I only have to do it twice a week. And they can maintain their physical appearance. They fit into their clothing and they feel good about that and not have to worry about it. And they have to worry about dieting so much because they're burning the calories and they're going to be active because they're going to start looking better. We're going to change the way their appearance is and the way they feel in their clothing, which is really important to people, especially women.
I thought you were going to say like, average 45 and female, because look, after 40, it's tough you do all the same things you've always done, but you definitely don't get the same result when you're a woman. Right. That I can vouch for. So, looking for something that's a little bit more stimulating to kind of give you that extra edge. I mean, now this is going to turn into like an infomercial for Body20.
That was the goal, Kim. That was the goal. At least mine. So let me tell you the other part. So the other group or the other silo that we kind of look, there's two more. One is the fitness fanatics. And those are the people that spend the top 20% of the money in fitness. And this is coming from IHRSA, right? These statistics come from IHRSA, which is kind of really the governing body in fitness itself. The top 20% spend on average $1,200 to $1,300 a month on fitness and health and wellness, right? Could be yoga for flexibility, hand and stone massage and facial spa for health and wellness, right? Could be Danny as a personal trainer. What we do is we're now complementing what they do. So that $250 to $350 a month membership, it's a nothing burger to the people that we're going after. But what it does is it provides them with that strength workout and doesn't cost them 2 to 3 days a week in the gym. So they can do their yoga, they can go get their massage, they can do spin or Orange Theory, whatever they want for cardio, and then they can come to us for 30 to 40 minutes a week. It's the silver bullet that everyone's been looking for, Kim. So let's get the infomercial done now.
Okay, so let's talk now about, as a franchise model, why, you've been around big brands like Hand and Stone, and so why are you so excited about this as a franchise opportunity?
Fitness is a great industry, right? But to me, I'm looking at all these fitness businesses after I started to evaluate this, and they all, look, there's a lot of great ones out there, but nothing was like really different. You want an edge, you want something really different. This was it was really the unicorn that I basically, as you know, I unretired for this, right? So I came out of retirement for this because I'm not going to unretire unless I find a unicorn. This was that unicorn for me. So I've never seen anything so impactful as this type of workout, a short period of time, 1,500 square feet, not a huge outlay of capital to start this up. Very little barrier to entry as far as the Body20 brand to get into a shopping center, et cetera. And then the big thing, it's semi-absentee or an executive model to run. That's what I would have been looking for myself. That's what I wanted to present to other people. With the automation and the tools that we've built into this system and into these units, people are just so excited to see this brand and the tools that we have and basically the performance of the units at the street level. It's really, really exciting to see that. I've never seen it before. the closest representation I can basically compare to it would be Orange Theory. And this to me was the next Orange Theory. And man, I had to be part of it.
So it's kind of like, remember Drago from like Rocky? It's like, remember
Well,
he was working out with all those electrodes?
I,
I'm having
I
like,
do.
here Rocky is chasing the chicken.
Remembering, God, if I could only have a body like that guy.
Exactly. So, okay, so who's the ideal candidate then? I mean, just reiterate, I think what you just said, but who's the person that's going to fall in love with Body20 as a business opportunity for their future?
Just thinking now, kind of my mind goes to all of the franchisees that we've brought on board in the last 9-10 months. We've sold 125 franchises or areas in the last 9 months. We're one of the fastest growing franchises in the country. We are attracting an extremely sophisticated group of franchisees. We just had a discovery day last week in Houston. There was a private equity guy in there who has run businesses at the street level as well as invested them at a very high level from a private equity standpoint. There was another individual who owned 4 different types, well, actually 4 units of another franchise in health and wellness that was there. Another individual had been in, there was actually a partner of 3. 2 of them have been in IT for 25 years, very high level executives in a major corporation. They were in attendance. And then we had another clinical researcher and his wife that were in from Denver. They had already invested in Sola Salons. So they were already a franchisee in another existing system. And then the last individual had been a salesperson for years, but big into health and wellness. And he was from Utah. And so we have kind of have a breadth. Every one of them are million, 1.5 to 2 million and up net worths, and have had very successful careers. And they want something not to replace something, but in addition to either their career or the existing businesses that they're running now. And what I'm seeing a lot is multi-unit owners of other franchises that want to leverage an existing client base like the one they will have at Body20.
I'm imagining that Body20 does not require a whole big staff of personal trainers either.
So we don't. We have, and we call them coaches, and our coaches do not need to be pre-certified in fitness, which is great. So there's a little bit easier path to bring them on board. We can train them within 2 to 3 weeks to be totally certified in EMS training. So we use the protocols of the manufacturer of the equipment, and then we add our own touch and flavor to it and develop this great system of training for our people to onboard. And then most people that are corporate executives that want the executive model will hire basically a key person, a general manager or manager type to come on board and basically run the day-to-day business.
So these are people then that are passionate about fitness and love people, because you're in a people business no matter what when you're in fitness, right?
Sure.
But they don't have to have a degree or a specialty background to be an employee.
They do not.
Oh,
They
that's
do.
really nice. That's
Yeah.
like low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that a lot of the
A unicorn,
people.
Kim. It's a unicorn.
It's a it's a unicorn, guys. Bobby is a unicorn. Okay, so you mentioned that the people you had at Discovery Day all had big high net worths, but that's not to imply that, only high net worths need apply, right? You mentioned also that it's a small 1,200 square foot space, so it's not a huge investment, I'm guessing, per unit. Is that a true statement?
It is a true statement. It's a $400,000 to $500,000 investment. We have accepted a number of people that started with one. They might not have had the 1.5 to 2 million plus net worth. That's fine. They were probably $700,000 to $1 million net worth, but they wanted to start with one, which is just fine. We are completely on board with starting with one unit and growing it from there. It's an attractive model to scale, which I think attracts a lot of people because you can kind of take down 2 or 3 different markets, enabling you to leverage not only your client base or your personnel, but also your marketing and advertising dollars as well. And then provide some upward mobility for people to grow within an organization if you triangulate or geographically design your territory the right way with multiple units.
So in the beginning of the conversation, after you said that maybe you might kill somebody, I think you also said, is it a fad? So, there's 2 things on my mind. A lot of people right now are like, I want something recession resistant, and I stand
Yeah.
on my soapbox every day and tell my people, look, you make your business recession resistant, right? Like you are the biggest determining factor of how recession resistant you are. So there's that. But to the naysayers out there who may say, oh, this is totally going to be a fad, or, what's going to happen if there is a recession? How would you respond to those people?
No, and that's a good point because when you go into a business, the one thing that I love about this, and we're looking for another brand right now, but the major thing for us was the target market. We're going into affluent areas. If you do that, you've got an automatic buffer built into the market itself, right? Because in an affluent area, you're not going to get pinched too much from a monetary perspective. And if people quit our business, it's very different than a typical gym. Typical gyms, you've got an array of people. The average age is probably 25 to 27 years old. We're 45, and kind of 45 is really our average, a little bit less than 45 years old. So they're established. They own homes, right? You're not going to have to worry about them missing a payment. And if people quit us, it's not because they can't afford it. It's because they're probably not using it. The same reason they quit other gyms. But here's the key, and this is a different animal for a number of reasons, which we've kind of talked about already, but the average member in fitness, big box fitness, is about 5 months. Ours is more than twice that.
Wow. What does that say about Americans?
Right. Save me some time. It's the silver bullet.
But what it says is people don't actually want to work out, which circles back to the point when you interview people in the club and they say, you ask, why are you here? And they say, because I don't like working out.
Well,
here's your full circle moment on that one.
Which brings me full circle back to the challenge, Kim Daly. So do the workout and tell me if you don't think that's a workout after you're done. Okay?
So if you people out there,
accepting the challenge, Kim?
If you people out there watching this video want to see Kim Daly, maybe we should record that live.
Absolutely.
What happens to Kim Daly when she puts on the suit?
I think every audience member, except maybe one I can think of, but I think every audience member wants to see you put on the suit and do the workout. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I think we need to get Danny there for 10 years personal trainer. I know he's super smart. He knows my threshold.
I want Danny in a suit too. Absolutely.
He's going to kill us for this one. This has been awesome. Well, just sort of tying all of these things together, you talked about how Orange Theory, and I agree, that was sort of like a game changer in fitness, right?
Sure.
Going from the big box gym to the boutique fitness, instructor led, giving people more of what they wanted, which was a more effective workout, but not at a personal trainer price, right? Mm-hmm. But the downside to that particular model is that the age range is low because look, again, I mean, I'm almost at that half century mark, or maybe I'm there, but I can't run on a treadmill every time I want to work out. My knees and my back are not going to be happy if I do that. And so therein lies potentially the 5 months and why people quit. I don't even know if I'd last that long. So in terms of that longevity, I think I'm just kind of bringing the conversation full circle. It sort of makes sense to me, Bobby, because if my joints aren't getting tired, but my body is getting in shape and I'm starting to see the result of my hard-earned time, even though it's 20 minutes of workout, I mean, obviously getting a result is the most important factor probably to driving that reoccurring, the consistent pattern of going to the gym. When people don't get a result, that's probably why they quit.
Yeah, I think you basically just, without saying so, accepted the challenge, Kim. I couldn't have put that any better. I swear, we're going to put you on body20.com and I'm going to cut up these vignettes and just have you talk to basically our workout. Thank you so much for that.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm in. He has been asking me, guys, since January of this year, 2022, to get in the suit. Here we are in September. I'm accepting the challenge. I think I want to try the body.
You have made my year, Kim Daly. Thank you so much.
You really wanted to be. Go ahead.
We will be heading to New Hampshire very, very soon.
He really wanted to be my guest, guys, just for this moment. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. He is obviously super passionate about Body20. I'll test the workout. I'll tell you what I think about it. But for those people who are not as resistant as I have been, and you're intrigued by this conversation, you know that I want to be your daily coach. Please follow the email on the screen right now or email me directly at inquire@kimdaly.tv. Bob McQuillan, thank you for being one of my greatest friends in franchising, my franchise summer camp sleepover buddy. And don't take that the wrong way, everybody. And just an all around, just great guy. And thank you for being my guest today here on Kim Daly TV.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you for accepting the challenge. We look forward to it. Appreciate you, Kim.
It all
Thank you so
comes
much.
back to that challenge, guys. Thank you again. And until next time, my name is Kim Daly, and I want to be your daily coach.